Hello and welcome to this video on network configuration in Omnet++. Today I'll be explaining steps 4 to 6 covering automatic and manual route configuration. Omnet is a powerful discrete event simulation tool used for modeling and analyzing network behavior. In this lab, we're working on the INET framework to configure routing dynamically. I'll show how Omnet++ automatically sets up routes, how we can manually override them, and how to change routing metrics to optimize network performance. So we start from step 4. Step 4, fully automatic static routing table configuration. This is the description of step 4. So let's go to step 4, let's set up a configuration. So in Omnet++, the configurator assigns routing tables automatically using the shortest path algorithm, like the Dijkstra. This means that without any manual input, the system determines the best routes between nodes based on hop count. This is the network topology. Here we see, and this is the network topology here. So here we see a network with multiple routes and hosts. The configurator has set up routes dynamically. If I check the routing table, you can see that each node has a path to every other node. The system ensures that traffic flows and shortest path. It flows the shortest path, the shortest route possible. So as packets are being dispatched, the routing follows the default setup. This automatic configuration is useful when we want quick and efficient network setup without needing to modify anything manually. So this is step 4. As we said, it is fully automatic static routing table configuration, and the destination address is host 7. So let's go to 5. Step 5a, it says manually overriding individual routes to a specific host. So however, we need more control over routing. In this step 5, we override the automatic routes. This can be useful to avoid congestion, enforce security policies, or test different network behaviors. So first we override the route. Let's set up the configuration, 5A. So first, let's override the route for a specific host, and I've just opened the configuration file. This will manually specify a new route for one host, forcing it to take a different path. As you can see, it's going to take a different path here. After saving and running this simulation, we can see that the packets from this host now follow the manually configured route instead of the default one, unlike step 4. So this allows us to control individual device paths for better network management. As we can see here, step 5, it says overriding routes to a specific host. So this is the destination. The destination is 10.0.0.35. This is the net mask. And the host is router 0. So these are the results. And this is how it's working. This is how it's distributing the packets. So this is step 5B. Step 5B says manually overriding individual routes. Route to a set of hosts. So you see, unlike step 5A, this is to a specific host, but step 5B is route to a set of hosts. So we can override routes for a set of hosts. Instead of modifying just one device, we define a new routing rule that affects multiple nodes at once. So let's update the configuration. Let's update it to 5B, which is route to a set of hosts. Then we run it. After updating the configuration and restarting the simulation, we see that these hosts now follow our predefined paths. So this, as you can see, the routing tables have changed and packets are now following a new path we specified. So for the B, as we said, it overrides routes to a set of hosts, and this is the destination. Destination is 10.0.02. This is the net mask, and also this is the host is the router 0. So these are the results, and this is how the packets are being distributed here. Okay, so let's go to 6. For 6, it says setting different metric for automatic routing table configuration using data rate metric. So by default, Omnet++ optimizes routing based on hop count, but sometimes we need to optimize for other factors like data rate or link quality. So this sub 6, it demonstrates how we can adjust routing metrics. In part A, we instruct the configurator to prioritize higher data rate links instead of the shortest path. Unlike step 4 that we use the shortest path, I'll update the configuration file. To 6A. Let's run it. So I've updated the configuration file to set data rate as the main metric. As you can see, it's different. The paths are different. So after running this simulation, we see that packets now follow faster links rather than the shortest paths. This is useful when we want to ensure high-speed data transfer instead of just minimizing hop count. Let's stop it. So as you all know, hop counts, the routes are optimized for hop count. All edges have a cost of 1. This is the default metric, so your hop count is your default metric. So this is the configuration of step A. These are the results. As they said, one can easily check that no routes go through the link between router 0 and router 2 by setting the destination filter to hash, to star, in the visualizer. So let's go to part B. So for 6B, this is setting different metric for automatic routing table configuration, manually specifying link cost. This one uses data rate metric. This is manually specifying link cost. So in this part B, we manually assign a high link cost to a specific connection. This tells Omnet++ to avoid using that link unless absolutely necessary. I'll update the configuration to set a high cost for one link, then restart the simulation. Let me update the configuration. Okay, sorry, let me run it. Now we can see packets are routed away from the high cost link. This can be used to prevent traffic from using unreliable or overloaded paths. So to summarize what we covered, the 3 key aspects of routing in Omnet++. For step 4, just a brief summary. The step 4 is automatic routing, where Omnet++ sets up routes by default. Then for step 5, that is the manual overrides, where we control routes for individual or multiple hosts. For A is for individual, then for B is for multiple hosts. Then for step 6 is adjusting routing metrics, where we optimize routes based on data rate and link cost. These techniques are used for designing and testing network efficiently. Understanding how to configure routing in Omnet++ allows us to experiment with different network behaviors and optimize performance for real-world scenarios. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for watching. Jazakallahu khairan.